Welcome back to Mommy Meltdown on Giant TV. I'm your host, Stephanie, and on today's show, we're going to be talking with Kim Lorentz about a topic that I have been quite interested in for many years now. And actually not for myself, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe it should be for myself, as Kim and I have been talking a little bit just off the air. And this is something that is actually quite talked about in the news over the last year or so, and that's cannabis. Kim, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, you and I have known each other for a number of years now, and I was trying to think, like, how long now? It's been at least 11 years.
11 years, yes.
It's crazy. We met because of our kids.
11 years right around right now, yes.
Right around that. Right, you're right around right now, because we started to get to know each other a little bit because we had babies close together, and we met through a mommy group, and we've maintained that friendship over the last 11 years, which is awesome. I love that we're talking about this because you are not the stereotypical cannabis user as I picture the stereotypical cannabis user, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You know, you're not a college kid.
No.
you're not a hippy dippy.
No.
You know, but I love that with the legalization of marijuana and cannabis use now, that you felt compelled to maybe give this another shot. So why don't you take us from the beginning?
Okay.
Why cannabis? Why now?
Okay. So I've suffered from depression and anxiety probably since I was a teenager. Well, definitely since I was a teenager, and have been on and off medications. And so that always creeps up. Sometimes I get breakthrough symptoms and things like that. And that's always in the back of my mind, how to stay well mentally.
Right.
And then also I've had some chronic back pain from an injury that I can't seem to ever have it healed totally, and I don't even really know what's wrong with it, but it's just something that's kind of a nagging pain. But also, I think one of the things that has stuck with me the most is I've suffered from a couple of concussions. One back in 2015, and the second one back in 2016. No, excuse me. Yeah, 2015, 2016.
Well, back to back, which is scary.
Yeah, a year apart. Both of them I went to the hospital for, and there was really no treatment for it, and recovering was for months. And so as a result of the recovery, I would have chronic headaches still. And I always had headaches, but they were just always there. It was always just this tension. And I always felt like I maybe would forget different words, or it would take a long time for something to come to my head to say when I'm looking for it. So I recovered from the second concussion pretty well, but still I was always having problems, and my back was always still hurting, and of course the depression comes through every couple months. It seems cyclical almost. Back in December 2016, I was at a party, and someone offered me a puff on a joint.
Sure, that happens, right?
That happens, and it probably had been years. I mean, we're talking probably 15, 16 years or so.
Yeah.
And I took it, and all of a sudden, all of the tension and the pain in my head was gone.
Wow.
And I felt clarity like I haven't felt it in ages. And I don't mean like I was really stoned or anything like that, but I just immediately felt better. So that happened. And then it was probably around March or April. I noticed that there was talk of some underground cannabis stores opening up.
Right.
I don't know if Welland ever had any, but St. Catharines had a couple.
Okay.
And during the period of time when they were open, I went in to check it out. And it was quite something, quite different than what you see today that just opened this week.
Well, I was just going to say, because now they have to follow, very specific protocols, and everything is up to code. But when you go into these underground places, are you a little nervous?
Well, I was, because there was a big security guy at the front, a couple, and they had the selection of the product. And at that time, it was some edibles, which we know it's still on the black market.
Yeah.
And then the herb itself and the different varieties and strains. They had them in little jars. Very professional.
Yeah.
And then they would tell the person, once you decided, you talk to the person that was the bud tender, as they're called. You talk to them, and then they go to a window, so, maybe smaller than this, but tell them what they want. They come back with it in a package, and the money goes in the back, and it was all very secure.
Right.
Anyways, that place, I did buy something that day. I bought two different kinds of cannabis. One was the sativa, the other one was the indica. I don't remember what the indica was, but I know the sativa was, I believe it's called Chocolope.
Okay. So chocolate flavor or something?
No, I think it's supposed to have hints of that, and I don't remember what the
tastes better. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember what the characteristics of that particular one, but I do remember. Again, I went in there. I said specifically, I want something for headaches. I want something for the back, my back pain,
right.
And because
that's the case, right? Like different strains will help you with different ailments.
Yeah. It's based on terpenes. There's various the chemical constitutes in it, and chemical constituents in it, and depending on the terpene, they have different characteristics on how they affect your body. So. That's what I was going for. I took it home. I didn't have anything to use it with, so I had to go out and get some supplies.
Yeah. Which in and of itself must have been an odd trip.
It was, yeah, because then I'd find myself in a head shop, and I can't ever remember being in one. I might have gone in one passing, but I never went in for one for the purpose
specifically,
yeah. So that was a bit of a discovery. So that was back in we're talking April 2017, is that right? I believe. Yeah. So I had been kind of going on that, and I thought, well, you know what? I think I have enough going on that I could probably get a prescription for this.
Right, I mean, because that seems to be the way that most people are going with this.
Yeah, because it was really effective for the back pain. It was really effective for the headaches, and I could sleep better at night. And when I'm calm and cool and collected, everyone is more happy at home.
Right.
So I saw a difference there. So that summer, I booked an appointment with a cannabis clinic in Toronto. I did not go through my doctor.
Okay.
You can get a doctor's referral to a clinic. I don't know what each clinic, what the requirements are, but in this case, I didn't have to have that doctor's referral.
There's a lot of people are saying that too, that they're just not sure that their doctor would say, yes, here's a prescription for that. So they tend to go, like you say, out of the area, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know many primary care physicians that are going to say, oh yeah, I'm comfortable prescribing this for you, or if they're just going to refer them. I can't speak for the medical community on that front, but
do you think that you also may have gone out of the region, if you will, because I don't want to say shame, but you're nervous because of that stigma that somebody may have had on you?
Yeah. I mean, I've only been in Canada since 2001 in this area, but it's not very often you go someplace you don't run into someone you know. Right. It's a very small area. It's a very small town. All these towns are very small. And so if you don't know them, you know of someone.
Right.
So that was part of it. And it's the embarrassment of it, or maybe thinking, oh my gosh, people are going to think I'm a stoner, or that this is what I do all day, smoke pot. And that's not the case.
So what's happened between then and now? Because, as we were talking a little bit yesterday, this is sort of your coming out, if you will.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Not a lot of your family and friends know that this side of you, if you will.
Yes.
And I said to you, like, jokingly, maybe we should deepen your voice and blur out your face. What do you want to do here? But I really love that you wanted to bring some sense of normalcy to being able to do this. Now, like you say, it's legal. You get a prescription, and that's a much better way to go. But where did that line not be so fuzzy anymore, that you're very concrete now, that you say, okay, this is who I am. I don't mind doing this, or I enjoy doing this, and it's helped me.
I think that came around to where everything really lifted probably back in October when for legalization. So
do you find that every day, though, like every day you might say, okay, well, this morning I started off and things were particularly rough, so I needed to, what do you do, like smoke a joint, or are you having it by vaping? Like, how is this working?
Yeah.
You popping a pill? What are you doing?
Okay, so there's a couple different ways that I use it personally. Yeah. I don't really like to smoke it, so I don't use joints much, not pipes, not a bowl or a bong, as they
Is
were
it the
called.
smell that you don't like the smell of it?
I don't like inhaling the smoke.
Okay.
It's harsh.
Yeah.
And I don't like smoking, period. But I just don't like the smell sticking onto me.
Yeah.
So I use a vaporizer and I use oil. And I've also used some of my dry herb to make some of my own oil to use in cooking,
like on your skin.
or
Or
baking.
like in cooking. I would never even thought about the cooking.
Yeah,
element
but
of it. Yes.
that's a, I have to give a caveat there. You need to have a little more experience before you start using edibles, or you don't want to go and try a cookie that someone's given you and have no idea how you're going to be affected, because you'll be out for 3 days.
And that's the scary part,
Yes.
right? When you think about that, you think, oh gosh, this could really send me over the deep end,
Yeah.
and that's why people are, I'm sure, nervous, to initially start this
Yeah,
journey.
but it's great. What we can do now in Canada is that you can make your own products if you want, as long as you're consuming them yourself. It's just like, you can grow a few plants here or there, but you could take it from seed all the way to a finished product, but as long as it's your own consumption, that's fine.
I love that you have a little case for it. Everything is very discreet.
Yes.
No one's carrying around a little dirty baggie.
Yeah. You were asking before about, so CBD, for example, I would use that. I have a bad back. It works really well for my back.
Right.
It helps to release the tension in the muscles, I find, and it may not knock down the pain 100%, but I'm not focusing on it all the time.
Right.
A headache the tension will suddenly lift, and I feel calmer. I feel calmer. I don't have, I don't have that tightness in my chest that sometimes I get that.
Yep.
I would say using a product, cannabis with THC, that might be, I would liken that to maybe having a glass of wine instead of having a glass of wine.
Well, it's so funny you should go there, because I was just going to say, I feel like everything that you're saying is more of a therapeutic use as much as it is a medicinal use.
Definitely. Yeah. And I'm not someone who has fibromyalgia or any other kind of compromised immune system where I might find it beneficial for my joints and things like that. But there are people that medicate on it throughout the day. I mean, they need to function. I am not that bad, but I have found it just so very helpful.